Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Extra Frame. This is Matt Canizaro alongside Ashley Galante here at Seminole Lanes in Seminole, Florida. It is the group stepladders of the 2015 St. Petersburg-Clearwater Open. And we're excited to have just our last few remaining players here. We already have our top two seeds decided. And now we're looking for number 3 and number 4. In our two matches right now, it is Maria Rodriguez against Erin McCarthy on our right, and to our left, Josie Ernest and Diana Zavjalova doing battle here, and the winners will advance to meet our number 2 qualifiers here. And up for grabs again, 2 more spots on the TV show, which will be filmed August 7th and recorded for airing on August 30th. So we look forward to that on CBS Sports Network, and we'll talk more about those details as things unfold here. Ashley, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Matt.
All right, Ashley Galante is a former Team USA member and local standout here in the St. Pete Clearwater area, the head coach at Countryside Lanes just down the street. Bowled very well this week, made the top 12 in match play, so kind of a breakthrough performance there. Breaking out of the top 32 to advance. Got to feel pretty good there, and right now getting a front row seat to these exciting matches.
It is definitely very exciting to be here and to bowl as well as I did. It was nice that when I did make the top 32, I was able to go all the way and make top 12. This last couple weeks, it's been pretty tough. I've been missing the cut by a couple pins. It's been very heartbreaking, and it's nice to see that my hard work is finally paying off.
Well, we talked about that breakout coming in front of the hometown fans, and a terrific week overall. Hopefully good for the confidence and for the experience level here on the PWBA Tour. And right now, to explain what everybody's watching, we had 71 competitors this week bowl 12 games of qualifying yesterday, 2 6-game blocks. The field then was cut to the top 32. And those 32 bowlers came back, bowled 6 more games this morning. And we cut the field down from 32 to the top 12 based on 18-game pinfall totals. The 12 were seeded into match play. The even-numbered folks went one direction. The odd-numbered folks went the other. And to 2 match play groups, Group A and Group B. And they all bowled 5 games of match play plus a position round to get to where we are right now. And in that match play in Group A, Lindsay Boomershine outlasted Stefanie Johnson. Had an exciting conclusion to that match. Stefanie actually was leading the Group A portion by 22 pins going into that position round. Lindsay had to beat her to earn the number 1 seed for the TV show. And she did that in dramatic fashion. Stefanie left the bucket in the 10th frame and missed it to let Lindsay go around her. And Lindsay now making her first TV appearance of her PWBA career. Stefanie's going to have to earn her way there through this group stepladder. And the B side, Rocio Restrepo outlasted the rest of the group. She earned the number 2 seed for the TV show. Again, that will be taped on August 7th and air August 30th on CBS Sports Network. And that taping will take place during the U.S. Women's Open. So we're excited to have 3 TV shows taped that day, plus a live show of the U.S. Women's Open. And all summer long, women's bowling on TV, CBS Sports Network. And now the rest of the folks in our stepladder. Right now you're watching Josie Ernest, who made her first TV appearance last week at the PWBA Rochester Open. So her first one as a PWBA member. Her first official one coming at the 2012 Queen. So nice to see her back on TV, break the ice. As you talked about the confidence there, Ashley, and these two will battle right now for the opportunity to take on Stefanie Johnson in the Group A final. And in our other match, Erin McCarthy and Maria Rodriguez will fight for the opportunity to meet Kelly Kulick, who's won just about everything there is. Winner of this stepladder, again, will advance, and average for the week will determine who is number 3 and who's number 4.
Looks like we're going to have some exciting matches to watch, especially because these ladies have been bowling so good all week. When I say all week, I mean the 2 days that we bowled.
All right, well, it feels like a week, I'm sure.
It
A
does.
lot of games over 2 days, especially making match play. You bowled 24 games. You had 2 practice sessions, even some pro-am still coming up. But
Yes. It's actually nice just to sit down right now because usually when we're bowling, we don't normally sit down. So it's a good break.
and with 3 or 4 on a pair this week, pretty fast-paced as well. But a lot of competition fit into 2 days, and part of the reason there. Okay. Maria leading here. Well, she has the early 3-bagger. But part of the reason is still that the ladies can kind of ease into the tour life and maintain full-time jobs, real jobs at home, still be able to travel, perhaps just take Thursday and Friday off, and then follow that with the weekend, so they can work Monday through Wednesday. And a lot of the players able to squeeze a 40-hour work week into 3 days, but it's probably a pretty trying experience, but one that I imagine none of you would trade for anything.
No, we wouldn't trade it in for the world because we love being here. We love competing on the tour, even though it can be really hard. I mean, when we get home, there's jet lag. There's, bodies are tired. We just bowled over 20 games for 2 days. So pretty much we just want to sleep, but now we have to get up and work jobs. And days get really long. And then the next thing you know, you're back on a plane going somewhere else.
All right, well, you had the opportunity this week to sleep in your own bed, eat at your favorite places, and kind of relax a little bit. There was no ride to the airport and no checking luggage or anything like that.
That was really nice.
And clearly it paid off. You had your breakthrough, making the top 12 for match play.
It did work. I could say, though, that I did have to wake up a little extra early than I would normally have to because we weren't as close as if we were in a hotel. But definitely worth it to be able to sleep in my own bed.
All right, well, now you've experienced the next level of this crazy format here on the PWBA Tour. And now you're watching firsthand. We have 2 great matches going on here. In this match, Maria Jose Rodriguez started with the front 4, and now the split in the 5th frame. Erin McCarthy not far behind, so we'll be relatively close here after 5 frames.
It's unfortunate that the 6-pin fell because now she has to either go for it or take the 2. And she made it. Wow.
She goes for it and wows the crowd. So the possibility of giving up some count there, but obviously this is a 1-game match. This is it for the opportunity to advance. Winner there again will take on Kelly Kulick for a shot at TV. Right now, Josie Ernest finds herself down by a bunch halfway. Diana perfect through 5. Can't really beat that.
No, Diana has a great look. I bowled against her in match play, and her look is great, and she's throwing it awesome. So I think she's going to be really hard to beat right now.
And McCarthy with another one of those kind of weak, flat, lazy 10s that we saw all week long with these brand new pins.
Oh, we bowled on brand new pins? I didn't even know.
A lot of those corners, a whole lot of 710s. I think you had one right here on the featured pairs today.
Oh, I think I had at least 3 or 4 pocket 710s this whole week. It was ugly. The problem is if you get your ball, if you get a little bit too fast and you get the ball to skid past the break point just a little bit, even though it corners, it's not enough to get the 10-pin out.
All right, Erin McCarthy finds herself down at 20 at the halfway point. Diana looking to stay perfect. She had 296 earlier today. Had a shot at her second 300 of the year and didn't throw it well. Obviously, hard to throw it well and get 6.
Yeah.
But pretty exciting moment.
This pattern isn't very forgiving if you miss a little bit either.
Never a doubt, 6 for 6 for Diana. She is the 2013 USBC Queens winner. First foreign player to win that event since 1989, and now we've had a string of foreign players. So break there for McCarthy. She's going to have to give this one a go just to stay in this match. And Diana also picked up a win last year at the Minnesota Open.
Yes. I'm pretty sure she is anxious to get back on TV again. She's came really close a couple of other tournaments, and I think that it's getting to that point where she wants that breakthrough where she's going to start making it more consistently. Like if you've been watching Rocio's been making almost every TV show, and Shannon O'Keefe too.
Well, as you mentioned when we talked earlier in the week, once that confidence comes, and sometimes you wonder if it ever will, it's hard to
John Gaines once told me, confidence is really funny. If you have it, you feel like you can never lose it, and if you lose it, you feel like you can never have it. And that is definitely the truth. Because I went through some struggle, and you wonder if you ever get your confidence back. And then when you have it, you're like, how did I ever go not confident?
Well, hopefully this week's performance will help in that confidence as we head into the last 3 events of the season. Right now, Diana looking pretty confident.
Yeah, I mean, she gets to play the lanes exactly how she likes to play them. We bowled women's championships a couple years ago. When she can get in like that and just reel on it, she'll strike for days.
Well, this week, a 40-foot pattern here at Seminole Lanes, and pretty similar styles for some of the players who, like you mentioned, get left a little bit and just open up the lane. And we got the big hand to do that. Maria certainly, and Diana, Kelly Kulick, so Erin McCarthy. So really, the folks we're seeing, they were able to do that. That gave them the better entry angles, I think, for this week, and helped to get those lazy corners out too.
The key is to be able to get deep and be able to send the ball out early and just get it to corner right around that second hash mark and get it to come back in. If you stay too tight in, that's when we start seeing the 10 pins and not as much great ball reaction.
Nice break there for Maria to get the 7 out and leave only the 10. She's in control in this match. And after the 2 splits that she's made, this one should be no problem for her. She leads by 31 after 6 frames. And Diana being challenged here in the back half of her match against Josie Ernest. Josie with the confidence for sure after last week's run in Rochester. Diana's had, I don't want to say some struggles this year, but a couple of opportunities maybe that were missed. Another great shot, and there's that weak 10 again.
I think that those opportunities is what's going to give her the next boost, because we learn from that. When you're missing it by a couple pins or you lose a match not to make TV, you learn from those experiences and they only make you better. So she's only going to get better from here.
All right, well, my first event of the season was Rohnert Park, and Diana led that event by quite a bit, and then ended up getting past the very last game, the position round by Kelly Kulick, and then had to go to the step ladder and fell short after bowling terrific the whole week. And now, bowling great here, bowling great to get to this point. And now still 2 big games. McCarthy going through an injury, and as an athlete yourself, of course, and you spend some time in the gym, and with this schedule, there's really not much time to recover. You just have to take care of it the best you can and go on to the next week and get through it. And Erin bowled great yesterday, the first block, to lead the way. Got enough to secure her way into the top 12, but you could tell that she's not comfortable. And Kelly Kulick, same situation, has an injury. Just no time to get healthy.
No. By the time you get to go home and rest for a little bit, then it's time to go again. Back in the beginning of the season, I was unfortunate, but I hurt my shoulder, and I had to try to bowl through that for a little bit. You can never really get into that comfort zone to where you feel like, okay, I could just throw it like me, because you're always in the back of your mind, you have this injury in mind, and you don't want to hurt it even more either.
Well, and for Erin, it actually helped her this week a little bit, keep her slow. I mean, obviously it doesn't feel good, but it helped slow her tempo down and to get the good shots and
she's managing it really well. It's not easy bowling in pain like that.
All right, so here's Maria. She leads by 31. Winner advances to take on Kelly Kulick for a spot on the TV show. We'll join Lindsay Boomershine and Rocio Restrepo, and Maria leaves the 4-9. So she is leaving some messes out there, but able to clean them up so far to maintain her lead. And on our other match, Josie Ernest with a late 4-bagger here. Make that 5 so you can get to 258. And that will put the pressure on Diana to show up in the 10th frame. Maria gives it a run, gets 1. But still in control. McCarthy will finish first. Best she can do is 223. Maria still with a shot at 231. Here's Josie looking for 6 in a row. She goes high, leaves the 4-pin. Max score 247. Maria high again for the baby split. So Ashley, this pattern you mentioned, typical sport pattern as far as, you don't want to miss left, you don't want to miss right. You got to make good shots. And at this level, that would be the expectation, of course, to be accurate and, make your spares. Can you talk a little bit about the condition that you faced?
Well, in my opinion, the way that the lanes played for me is that there was definitely not much hold. I mean, if you were going to miss, it was definitely out was the way to go. As they kept re-oiling and putting out the new shot, they only got tighter and sharper off the lanes. And you have to consider the fact that we're bowling at Seminole lanes, and from my experience, the two things that I've always known about this bowling center is there's a lot of friction and you leave a lot of 10 pins. So with the pattern going out and then having the friction on top of it, it's only made it a little bit more challenging because now it forces you to move in and get deep. But like I said, you're going to leave a lot of 10 pins here because that's just the characteristic of the house.
Well, Diana can't afford to leave any 10 pins. She's got a little bit of room, gets the strike. Huge shot there. Josie finished with 247. So spare strike would have been enough for Diana here in the 10th.
And even though the girls are shooting their spares really well, you have to understand that sometimes spare shooting gets challenging on conditions like this. Spare ball hooks a little bit or reads the lanes a little bit in the mid lane. It changes things. It changes where you have to throw it. I've had to move like 2 to 3 boards for my 10 pin this week because my spare ball would just move a little bit.
Well, Erin McCarthy hoping not to have to shoot any spares here. She can lock out Maria Rodriguez. Turn our attention back to Diana. 2 great shots in the 10th frame. She will advance to take on Stefanie Johnson for a shot on the PWBA St. Petersburg-Clearwater Open TV show. There's McCarthy. Can get to 223. Best Maria can do after back-to-back opens is 210. McCarthy goes high, lucky to leave only the 10 pin on that shot.
Yes.
Diana defeats Josie Ernest, 268
That's a tough match over there.
to 247.
But Josie gave it her all. She shot at 247. She left everything out there. Something, can't walk away and be upset about that.
Well, she put the pressure on her. That's all you can do.
Yep.
Made good shots. 9 spares this week. Not a bad number.
No. You're almost happy when you got 9 spare.
And now the stage set in our other match. Erin McCarthy can strike on the fill here for 202. That will force Maria to double. Anything less, it is Erin and Kelly Kulick. I like when the math is that easy.
Yeah. Good shot.
So she got enough. Maria knows what she has to do. And she was in a similar position earlier in the day against Rocio as they were fighting for the lead. Rocio threw the last 5 for 247. Maria needed all 3 in the 10th tie and came up short on the first shot. I don't know if it's a few matches later, but is that something you think that's in your head at this point?
No, I think that bowlers at this level have a short-term memory. They don't think about stuff like that. And if they do, they try to use it as motivation, like, I'm not going to let that happen again. It's better that happen than here.
All right, well, here it is. Needs a double. Anything less?
Oh.
There's our 200th 710 of the week. Great shot.
It was a great shot.
Starts with the front 4. It's going to end with 3 consecutive open frames. That is a tough situation there. You can't throw it any better than that.
That's very frustrating. I can relate to that.
Wow, some good matches there. Diana Zavjalova and Erin Mccarthy, they will
So did you
advance
keep
to our
track of how
finals.
many pocket 710 splits?
Kelly Kulick,
We lost count. It's well into the, just on our TV pairs, well into the double digits.
prior to the start of our final match.
I think my last match, I left 2 pocket 710 splits in the game.
Yeah, we talked a lot of, just from even game 1, I think Clara had 2 of them right here on our featured pairs. Nobody picked any up though. Not while we were watching, at least.
No. I tried. It didn't bounce.
All right, folks at home, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to our sponsors, of course, to make all this possible on the PWBA Tour, Smithfield and Nationwide. Nationwide is on the PWBA side.
Yes, they are. They're helping us stay alive.
And our lane maintenance provider this week, Kegel, the Kegel Flex Lane Machine. Eric Pearson here all week, putting out the 40-foot pattern with the Kegel Curve Oil. So always an interesting obstacle there with all the different types of oils out there and matching up with the lane surface. And you can put the same pattern out different places with different oils and get a completely different result.
That's absolutely true. Bowling's hard enough when you have to learn about lane play and ball reaction and surfaces, and now they just throw out new types of oil at you. But it's good because at least the sport's still evolving and they're finding new ways to make it more challenging.
Well, you've been challenged now from coast to coast for the last 11 weeks now.
Yeah.
All the way from really the coast of California out by San Francisco, now to western Florida. And you've been challenged with a variety of lane conditions, knowing going in that they're going to be requiring excellent shot making and spare shooting. And you've definitely personally come a long way. You talked about that, from last year and the things that you learned, and just some of the. There's another 710 by Stefanie on the practice pair. But
she's just getting him out of the way so she doesn't do him in competition.
Well, we'll talk about how she landed in the stepladder here as that match gets underway. But you've had some mentors along the way, and you've had you've come a long way from last year feeling like maybe things weren't going well to a whole new level that came, especially today, breaking through to match play. Can you talk about what the last year's been like for you?
It's amazing to think about the bowler that I was last year compared to this year. And I've definitely had a lot of people help me get to where I am right now. And I will talk about them in a second. But going through the process has been really challenging. I've been working really hard, and it's been a constant learning experience. And this is something that we haven't had since we were done with college. I mean, years ago, the women were on a tour, and they bowled, and they was able to develop that experience where a lot of us were just sitting back, bowling the 3 tournaments a year, plus whatever local tournaments that we had. So there was a lot of learning that we weren't getting. And now I'm actually getting to that point where I'm learning things that I need to. And even though I didn't place as well as I wanted to at these tournaments, I physically feel like I've been throwing the ball really well. I mean, there's unfortunate breaks. One of the cuts that I missed in the 10th frame, I left a pocket 8-10, and I missed the cut by 5 pins. And then there's another one, like last week, I missed the cut by 7 pins, and I split in the 10th frame of the last game. I mean, those shots make it really heartbreaking. You know, it's upsetting when you worked all day and you bowled great all day, and then all of a sudden you have one shot that just takes everything away. And truthfully, I think the biggest struggle that I had was going from the first block to the second block. I'd have a great first block, and then as soon as I hit the second block, the lanes were tighter. I had more under and over, and it just had a hard time finding my look. And then I would end up missing the cut by a little bit because I couldn't hit the second block.
I think one of the main points you made when we talked was being able to keep your composure in those frustrating moments. We saw it yesterday. You left the 7-10, I believe, in the second frame, and then followed that with 10 strikes. So maybe 2 years ago, Ashley leaves that, and the mental result completely different than what we saw yesterday?
Probably. You know, I think that 2 years ago I would have blamed myself or thought that I didn't throw it good enough, so I probably would have stuck with that ball a little bit and just tried to make it work. And yesterday I was like, well, I can't throw it better than that, so I'm not even going to try to fight it. And I just grabbed the next ball and started throwing it.
Well, it worked out. You were able to make your way into the top 32 in front of the hometown crowd. And then today, another obstacle, of course, bowling on Saturday and making it out of the top 32. What was the difference, you think? Or what have you learned that helped get you to that point today?
Well, I think that I've learned more about what I needed to do as I restrip and re-oil the blocks on how to play the lanes and just doing a little bit better job at keeping my swing relaxed when I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable. But, I have great ball reps back here. I've been working with Brian O'Keefe and Jeff Smith with Brunswick, and they were with me. They were helping me get lined up and seeing the lanes properly. That definitely did help. And after making the first cut, I was just happy that I finally made it because it's been tough this last couple of weeks. So I just wanted to enjoy it. That was really my main thing. I wasn't trying to stress about making top 12. I just wanted to come out here and enjoy it and throw the best. If I made it, I made it. If I didn't, I didn't. And I was fortunate enough to make it. And then, same thing when I got to match play. I didn't feel nervous. I didn't feel anything. I was just so happy to be there that I wanted to enjoy every minute of it and learn whatever I can.
We'll be starting our match over here on 35 and 36, and Erin Mccarthy will start our match on 39 and 40. How about a big round of applause?
All right, folks, here it is, the Stepladder finals of the 2016 PWBA St. Petersburg-Clearwater Open. Stefanie Johnson and Diana Zavjalova battling for a spot on TV. And over here on 39 and 40, Kelly Kulick and Erin McCarthy. The two winners will advance to TV. The higher average for the week will be the number 3 seed. The other bowler, obviously number 4. They will meet in the first match regardless. The winner will advance to take on Rocio Restrepo, who is making her return to TV. She's been a familiar face so far this year.
I think the difference between last year and this year is I think Rocio also had a lot of learning that she probably did without the tour being available to her years ago. But also she's made a couple of shows last year even though they were only on live stream, and I think that experience is what prepared her for TV, and now that she's got her feet wet, she's more comfortable and she's ready to make her mark in the bowling world.
She is a fiery competitor for sure, and if she can advance out of her first match, she will go on to take on the number 1 seed, Lindsay Boomerstein, who last year, when the format was a little bit different and there was 32 checks, but only 16 went on to match play. I think she was number 17 a handful of times, just missing, and finally able to break through, make some, good runs this year. And now, her very first TV show, she'll be the number 1 seed, 1 win away from having her name on a banner.
That's exciting, just to have even the opportunity to win the tournament, being in the position.
Well, here's somebody who's won just about everything there is, Kelly Kulick. She's battling that ankle injury, as you mentioned, and she's made a couple shows. Also this year, she was actually on the most shows last year and was not able to win an event. So it's probably frustrating for her to get that close and motivating at the same time.
Yes.
And right now, Kelly starting with a double, and she worked her way up the standings the last couple games today to jump into the number 2 spot. And now one win away from another TV show. I don't know if Erin McCarthy has anything to say about it throwing pins, but the 10 won't go. And a very motivated Diana Z. Looking for a double here to take the early lead against Stefanie Johnson. Leaves a 10 pin as well. That's what Stefanie left to start.
Yep. That's not a shocker. That 10 pin is stubborn.
I think at this point in the event, enough games have been bowled that the players, they know exactly what they're doing. They got the right balls, and it's just a matter of making those shots. And if you're going to leave one, it probably isn't a surprise, but the goal, I think, is to not have the 7 pin up there with it.
Yes, that's the biggest goal. You just want the 9 spare.
Diana takes the spare. Here's McCarthy, already down early against Kelly. Starts with a double. Terrific shot. McCarthy, the runner-up at the 2015 USBC Queens, and eager to get back in position to win a title.
And Erin's actually been very close this year, too, to making another TV show. She had a great showing at, I believe it was USBC Queens, and some other tournaments, and I'm sure that she would love to make it again.
Erin is a nurse by day and bowler by weekend. So one of the players who goes home and works a ton of hours the first part of the week, and then still finds time to practice and stay sharp and travel.
So I can't decide if I had to be injured, which one I would want to take. Kelly's with a hurt ankle or Erin's with a hurt groin. I feel like both of those would be horrible to bowl with.
Yeah, with boasting a shot and balance as crucial as they are.
Bowling.
For Kelly, it's her non-sliding ankle, I believe, so it probably makes it a little bit better, but not for the push-off at least.
Yeah, because we still roll our foot underneath, so I would think that would cause a little bit of pain.
Kelly looking to stay perfect. Front 3 here. And she could throw pins with the best of them, and able to get a little bit left and just slow hook it. And the entry angle is devastating at times. And now Steph looking for her first strike here against Diana. Suggested, so 2 good matches here. No surprise that players are hitting the pocket. It's a matter of, I think, who's gonna carry the most.
That's exactly what it's going to come down to. What I found interesting is how many times the number 1 seed was overthrown throughout the week. Usually it doesn't, I don't feel like it turns that much.
That one looked a little bit slow for McCarthy, and the ultimate price, 4-7-10. But yes, absolutely, even today, just very close. I think going to the last game, 5 of the 6 players on both sides had a legitimate chance at making the stepladder at least.
I think this is the closest it's been in a long time.
So no far and away leader. The top two on the Group A, Lindsay Boomerstein and Stefanie Johnson. There was no doubt that whoever won that was going to be the number 1 seed. And of course that ended in dramatic fashion. I mentioned earlier, Boomershine with a couple of opens late gave Johnson an opening, no pun intended, and Steph needed a mark in the 10th, left the bucket, and got 3 to lose the game and the #1 spot. But trying to get some redemption here against Diana.
And joining me now is Terry.
Hi, how you doing? Matt's working on some technical issues that we're having right now, which we had earlier today, and let's see if he remembers how to solve those pretty fast. I think the best way to solve it would just be to switch the cameras. We have 2 cameras on each setup, and one's at the scoreboard, one's on the lanes, and our lane camera froze again. So Matt will take care of it. In the meantime, we'll continue to watch.
There's just too much excitement.
There is. That's what happens when you have 2 matches going on at the same time. We want to bring both of them at this point.
Diana just got another strike.
It's always good to do after you have an open frame.
Yes.
Settles you back down. See if Kelly can get the front 5 here.
Especially if you can pair it up with another one.
And another one. And Stefanie Johnson. Of course, you're going to have to correct me every time I refer to her as Stefanie Nation, because that's what I tend to do.
Well, I knew Stefanie since I was about 12, so it's so hard to get used to calling her Johnson instead of Nation. I don't know if I would give up her name. I mean, she used to have Nation Sensation. I mean, that's a really good slogan.
We'll still call her that.
Probably.
Like I said, I still refer to her. Sorry, Chris.
Great shot by Kelly. Nice trip.
6 in a row. Look at Matt flipping over just in time to see her pick up this 8-pin that just refused to go down. It's quite a good shot. You know what? I'm very busy, Matt, so I'm going to go ahead and hand the headset back to him.
All right, so as we pass the headset back and forth, more disaster for Erin McCarthy. She leaves the 210. And she's looking at potentially her 2nd open frame of the game. And Kelly Kulick perfect through 6. We can't get a look at the scoreboard.
I don't think that Kelly's going to give her an opportunity to come back either.
And again, mathematics. Almost gets it to bounce out, but while Nationwide is on Erin McCarthy's side, mathematics not on her side right now. There's Kelly 6 for 6. And best Erin can do at this point is 215. But we'll turn our attention back to Diana and Stefanie. Diana trying to erase that open frame with a double. I didn't catch what that was, but
I think it was a baby split.
regardless, an open frame never good.
Nice split double.
So Diana down 12. McCarthy strikes in the 7th, but the damage might be done. Opens in the 4th and 6th. Kelly taking some deep breaths, and she's in great position here. Just needs to hang on, and she will advance to one more TV show. Right now, here's Diana looking for 3 in a row. And she gets it, so trying to close that gap.
That was a huge shot for her.
Kelly's run for 7 comes to an end with a 7-pin, but still easily in control here. Steph with a 12-pin lead. Big double.
I love watching matches like that.
Well, there's a couple of events left. It's time to have you in a match like that.
Yes. Hopefully the next one. My next one's Lucy, and then Women's Open. Be nice to go off with a bang.
I would say if you want to have a breakthrough, do it on a major.
That's the time to do it.
Great shot for Stefanie for 3 in a row. She's got the advantage here. Kelly strikes in the 8th, so this one is just about done. Again, best McCarthy could do 215. Kelly already at 200. You see there on the side of your screen all the sponsors of the PWBA Tour. Really good shot from McCarthy, but again, probably too late. Back to Diana, working on a 3-bagger. Goes light, leaves the 2-8. Got the 10 out, and you mentioned missing right, and we saw that quite a bit. You know, you get it, scorched down lane, and doesn't make the turn. Not an easy spare on these conditions.
No, it's not. And the challenging part is that you need to get the ball out, and you need to get it out early, but there is that little bit of that tendency to get it out too far. And we already know that there's very little recovery if you do.
McCarthy almost did the same thing. A little bit slower ball speed, able to roll the 8 and almost the 2.
I usually shoot the double wood with my my strike ball. But when it gets to lanes like this where you have to stand so deep, they can get really challenging because the ball gets a little bit more unpredictable.
All right, so Erin McCarthy, great week, battled through the injury, got hurt last week, but definitely gutsy performance all week long.
Yeah,
And
she pushed through it.
I mean, she's a nurse and kind of knows all about how to take care of people, and now taking care of herself, and found the way. So whatever the trick is, and certainly don't want to miss an event when there's only 14 for the year. Yeah, I see a pretty solid performance given how I think she's probably feeling.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. She definitely can't be upset with how she performed. And who knows how she would have done last week if she didn't withdraw.
So Kelly taking a victory lap here, can get to 279. She will advance to the TV show. And it looks like based on average, if her and Stefanie both were to advance, Kelly would be number 4, Steph would be number 3.
That's a great shot by Steph.
Stefanie bowled great today, averaged 227 for the weekend. Looks like it's the highest average among our 12 match play competitors today. So she can finish this off very well earned.
Great shot.
She's got her husband Chris here this week, and if you're going to pick an event to go to, I'd say the Florida vacation.
Yeah.
Probably a good choice. Son Levi is here as well. Stefanie,
They picked the perfect stop to have the week break afterwards. A lot of people are going to go to Busch Gardens, they're going to go to Disney, possibly Universal, and definitely visiting the beach sites. Clearwater Beach is probably only about like 20 to 30 minutes away from here, so, and it's probably ranked top 5 in the nation, beaches.
all right, well, Steph grew up in Miami, went to school in Central Florida. Her brother Keith here as well, and I'm sure she'll show her home state around to the family a little bit.
I'm sure she's glad to be back here.
What better way to enjoy Florida than to celebrate making a TV show? Kelly is now done. 10 won't go. So way to end the week with one last 10 pin here at Seminole Lanes. What a great performance from Kelly. Here's going to finish things off. Kelly advancing to the TV show here at the 2016 PWBA St. Petersburg-Clearwater Open. Diana with a chance at 235. Stefanie was just the 10th to go and get to 259. So this one definitely not over yet. Still room. Diana has to put the pressure on. She cannot shut out Stefanie. Steph 1 game removed from leaving and missing the bucket to ultimately cost her the #1 seed.
Speaking of heartbreaks, that's definitely one of them.
And a rarity for Stefanie to get up and needing to make the shot and having a miscue like that. But this is a chance at redemption. We'll see if she get another opportunity to step up and do her thing. Stefanie can just make it easy on herself, get up, throw a strike, and it's done. First one would put her in the 240s. Diana opens the door there. So Steph would have needed a great shot, at least, and a mark. Some of the pressure comes off. 231. Diana Z. The Ultimate Redemption, Stefanie Johnson. What a missed opportunity, but get herself on TV. And that is enough. Stefanie Johnson will join Kelly Kulick. They will bowl in the first match of the Stepladder Finals. PWBA St. Petersburg-Clearwater Open.
You won't want to miss it.
So it's been a great summer so far. If you catch those telecasts on Tuesday nights on CBS Sports Network, they've even done replays. So in case you missed them the first time around, you get another chance to take a look at the best women bowlers in the world. Stefanie with a title last year on the way to Rookie of the Year honors. Now looking to add another one to their resume. She doubles up for good measure. Our number 1 seed. Again, the TV show will be taped on August 7th as part of the U.S. Women's Open, and then air on August 30th. Lindsey Boomerstein going for her first PWBA title, 1 win away, but some pretty good players in the stepladder trying to deny her that opportunity. The number 2 seed will be Rocio Restrepo, who is having a phenomenal couple of years, and you'll see her on TV in the coming weeks as well. And Stefanie and Kelly. So we'll get the top 4 seeds out here on the approach and introduce them. And
the finalists for our CBS Sports Network television finals in our opening match. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to yell. All right, in our first match. Is that too loud? She has 6 major titles. She's a 12-time member of Team USA. She's also one of the top contenders this year for PWBA Player of the Year. Please welcome Kelly Kulick. Number 3 seed. She's also a 12-time Team USA member. She was our Rookie of the Year last year. She was runner-up for Player of the Year. She's also in the running for Player of the Year this year. Please welcome Stefanie Johnson. And our number 2 seed. She's a 13-time member of Team Columbia. She will also appear on next week's TV finals of the PWBA Greater Detroit Open, where she is the tournament leader. She is also one of our top contenders for Player of the Year this season on the PWBA Tour. Please welcome Rocio Restrepo.
all right, here comes Rocio.
And our number 1 seed. She's from Perry, Utah. She's a 3-time USBC Women's Championships titleist. She was also a former Collegiate Player of the Year. She's looking for her first PWBA title. Please welcome Lindsey Boomershine. All right, we're going to get a few pictures. I just want to say thank you so much for coming out. You guys have been a great crowd all week. Hopefully you'll stick around for the Pro-Am. If you still need to sign up, you can do that at the front desk. Thanks again for coming out, and I hope you have a great time at the Pro-Am. We hope to see you next year. Thank you.
All right, there you have it, folks. Jason Thomas, Tournament Director here at the PWBA, introducing the 4 for the Stepladder Finals of the 2016 St. Petersburg-Clearwater Open here at Seminole Lanes in Seminole, Florida. What an incredible week we've had. Great hosts, great performances, great bowling, and now our Stepladder Finals. Lindsey Boomershine, the number 1 seed. Rocio Restrepo, number 2. Stefanie Johnson, number 3. And Kelly Kulick earning the 4 seed. Again, that will tape on August 7th and will air on August 30th on CBS Sports Network. For everybody here at Extra Frame, PWBA, we want to thank our sponsors, Smithfield Nationwide, Kegel for this week's 40-foot lane condition, And, of course, Ashley Galante for joining us in the booth today for the Stepladder. After a breakthrough performance of your own, making match play for the first time, now the next thing up for you is making the Stepladder, so we can have you on our finals and hopefully on TV. So, Ashley, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.
And good luck the rest of the season in your travels. And folks at home, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate everything. We'll see you next time here on Extra Frame. You've watched wire-to-wire coverage of the PWBA St. Petersburg-Clearwater Open. And we had a dramatic finish here. A little bit of excitement. And our Stepladder, that's all you can ask for from a bowling event. Again, thank you to Smithfield and Nationwide and all of our sponsors here at PWBA. Until next time, folks, that's the news for now. And we'll see you on the lanes.